My name's Shantel and I am a junior. My concentration is the world through the eyes of fear. I have a lot of friends who struggle with fear, don't do a lot of things just because they're scared of what the outcome will be. I've been using a lot of acrylic and some of them have a mixture of pastel and watercolors with it. I basically chose this because I would hate to see people kind of run their lives based on what they're scared of and just have trust in God and to not basically fear what they're about to do and just go through life confidently. Well, I'm really interested in psychology and kind of helping people, so kind of bring more light to things people are afraid of and let them know that it's not unusual. I basically learned kind of how to put artwork onto one subject, and it really teaches you patience and everything, trying to figure it out and work on a time schedule and be able to get things done quickly, but also with a good quality of it. I learned that everyone has something, and there's always something that's holding people back because they're scared. I love AP art because you have a whole lot of freedom and you can basically just choose what you do, and you can express yourself a lot more than what you would do in just a regular painting or drawing class. And there's really no limit to what kind of mediums or experiments you can do with it. Basically, I would like people to take away that they don't have to be scared of so many things and just kind of trust in God and live your life with as little fear as you can, because you'll be missing out on a whole bunch if you just let fear dictate your life. I became a much better painter and I learned a bunch of new techniques, and I've increased my painting time dramatically to get things done, and it's in the same quality as it does that used to take me weeks on end to do. I'm scared of failure or trying hard for something and then not measuring up to it no matter how hard I try. Or along with college too is fear of not getting into the right college or picking the right college. Some of the paintings I've been working on, one is a deer on the side of a picture in a big open field, and it kind of shows the fear the deer has, or because obviously they're always very startled. I have another, it's kind of a messy style of drawing. I use pastel, and it's this girl, it looks all tangly and stuff, and it shows that fear is just kind of dragging her down. I also have one of another deer. It's a watercolor and it's kind of all faded, and then it just shows that yourself is kind of faded or smuffed out when you're too scared to do things you really care about or that you would love to try. The one I'm painting right now is basically just a fence wall and some shadows and a big traffic cone. It's kind of people are cautious and kind of on edge to try to be really careful to avoid certain things or make sure they don't do certain things. So they're basically living their life big caution cones everywhere. The car one, it's basically it's kind of a junkyard with all these beaten up cars, and it just shows people are fear of being hurt or something, or that they may mess things up, and they view their life as a possible kind of wreck yard. But then I have a big butterfly at the top. It kind of shows that it won't always end that way, or doesn't need to. Is you can see all the beauty in your life and you don't need to be scared of all these things. I have the guy with the face kind of being opened up into space. It basically just shows kind of within the person's a big whole vast complex thing, and all the fears they have that you may not know about and that people are kind of hiding away from you, but everyone has something there and a big reason on why they're scared, and hiding what they're scared of and why they're scared of that. Coming up with my concentration idea, I switched it I think about 5 times, and I was behind for a long time because I just had no idea what I wanted my concentration to be, or what kind of medium I wanted to use, or what people would think of it and all this stuff. But then it just kind of hit me I wanted to get something people could relate to and that everyone struggles with, and fear is a big thing in everyone's lives, and that's the main reason why people hold themselves back or anything, because there's always a fear there. And so I just wanted to let people know that it doesn't have to be that way, or everyone's scared of something. Ted Schwantz, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, but a lot of his paintings kind of look like not necessarily dark, but they look a little edgy. Like you could tell something's kind of off about it, and that's kind of like how the whole fear thing I want to do is like fear always makes things seem a lot worse than they really are. And then I've also liked Philip Hodez, I think that's his name too. He had kind of the same style as Ted Schwantz, and something like kind of like a little off, like normal landscapes, but something's kind of wrong about them. And those are the ones that kind of inspired me to paint in the style that I do.